because nuclear deployments actually affect the electronic field of the atmosphere. They've done that deliberately. But when HARP kicks in, it pushes the atmosphere as much as 200 miles into outer space. And this is where they've made a big mistake. They use heaters to heat the atmosphere. Yes. Ether cools it down, and it also resets it. So they have no defence against that. And that's what Billy A said.
So you did a talk here today. People were generally receptive, and it's very, very interesting. How can we follow your work?
It's difficult not to go so public on this. The reason why we have done what we've done is because it sounds so stupid and ridiculous. We know nobody will believe it anyway, and that's a very good defence. But we are starting to get teams. If people want to get in touch with me, you can get a link from me and they can make contact with me. We have very, very well-run teams that are now making massive changes around the planet, and we are resetting the atmosphere. But everybody must stay in touch and deploy. It's highly disciplined, and if you don't want to do what we're asking, we don't want you on the team. People are allowed to deploy privately when they want to do chemtrails, knocking chemtrails out, and helping to reset the weather and bring natural weather back. We're not here doing weather modifications. We're here resetting back to a natural weather, and that's what the elites don't want.
I just want to testify that this morning we were scoffing, oh, where's Harry now? It's totally grey, totally raining. We thought, oh God, this isn't working at all. Then Harry comes on at 3 o'clock, right? Half an hour before, his cloud busters are set up, and it's all totally grey and totally raining, and nobody believes anything's going to happen. Then outside just when his talk is starting, his young assistant here calls me out and say, hey, look at that patch of blue in the sky, just exactly where his cloud buster is pointing. And I have to admit, yeah, that looks quite good. And then, as his talk progresses, the whole sky clears up. Lovely blue all over the sky. Now, if I've ever witnessed a miracle, that has to be it. Yeah. So I feel that Harry here is a real disciple of Trevor James Constable, the great etheric weather pioneer in California, who first twigged this stuff, didn't he, Harry?
He did, yes.
Yeah. And Harry's really learned stuff from the main assistant working with Trevor James Constable. What's his name?
Oh, he's one of them.
One of
gentlemen. He would probably want to be mentioned.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He's worked with Trevor for about 12 years.
So Harry really has learned this stuff from Trevor James Constable, and I think we've seen with our own eyes that it works.
I met Harry. I'll just go into this. I met Harry about a year ago. We started talking. And to be honest, when I met this guy, I thought it were a bit far-fetched. You know, he's showing me these devices, and I took one of these devices from his house. And I drove, about 100 and 120 miles to my house. And I ripped a line all the way down the UK and separated it. And the clouds I've seen, I can honestly say I've never seen out like it. And this is down to this guy. If we didn't have this guy, our weather in the UK would be shit, and I'll tell you that.
I'd like to make an apology, really. This is deadly serious, because these people spend millions of pounds predicting the weather, and I'm sorry at the Met Office, but you were wrong. Sorry about that.
Well, there's another guy giving a talk now who also says the Met Office is often wrong, as they indeed are, and that's Piers Corbyn. So
yes,
it was very good that he's coming after your talk. Thanks a lot, Harry.
I'd like to say one thing. Doug Johnson at the Met Office, I asked you a question live in front of an audience. Does the Met Office get involved with geoengineering? And he said categorically no. And when I looked on his CV, he did 6 weeks of ship tracks out in the Atlantic on weather modification. Thank you, Doug Johnson.
I'm very grateful that I got here in time to see Harry's demonstration, because I've known about cloudbusting since about 2004. And I became familiar with Wilhelm Reich's research then, because I was looking at the chemtrail issue, which Harry and I have been discussing. And so to come here today and witness this, I mean, when I actually started my talk, I think Harry, just a bit before Harry got here, the tent was, I could hardly be heard, because the tent was in the middle of a big downpour. We've got, canvas tent here. And then I think while I was doing my talk, I think it must have been while I was doing my talk, Harry had begun to set up his translators, I think you call them, don't you, rather than cloudbusters. And this is a new term to me, so I've learnt something today. And I think just after I'd finished my talk, or maybe it was just after Harry had finished his this afternoon, literally came out and there is a hole in the cloud. And it looks, I mean, it's hard to see now, but earlier on we appeared to have a circle of cloud right around the tent, basically, which is right next to where the translators have been set up. And Harry has been explaining in his talk how these things work, which has, broadened my understanding of some of which I already knew. And Harry's been doing some amazing work around the world from what he was saying in his talk, which I wasn't aware of, And particularly of interest to me was the work on the drought in California, which now has been broken. And I believe this man here was responsible for a large proportion of that, so if not all of it. So I was very interested to learn that as well. So really, I don't think there's a lot more for me to say, except that I think the elites do have this technology, they've weaponized it, and of course Harry and I had a short conversation after his talk about Hurricane Erin on 9/11. I always try and mention that because not many people know about it, where this hurricane was apparently steered and was part of the events of 9/11, and people need to find out about that. They can contact me through checktheevidence.com or other websites that are available too, of course, that have got some of this information, but it's largely been censored, and I think a lot of the work that Harry's been doing has also been censored, and we still always get this constant injection of the global warming, climate change trash, which is pretty much in every news bulletin in some shape or form, and that's just totally bogus. So don't buy it, folks, and do your own research.
We're looking for sponsors from self-employed small business sector, which, as we know, is being destroyed, and we cover this a lot on the show with the plans for regeneration, the soaring business rates, and the destruction of what we used to know as our environment, because we're finding that people now are being pushed out and socially engineered from the places that they need to be. We'd also like to appeal to individuals who might be able to donate. Now, the donate button on the site, you can just scroll down to the bottom of the page, and it's also on every article and every video on the site, on windowsontheworld.net. Now, I've never asked for any donations before, but things are getting a bit tighter for us and we want to carry on and expand what we're doing. That's the most important thing, to expand what we're doing and be able to bring you much more information, which is very difficult at the moment because there's just a few of us. So, the bottom line is, if you can spare a few quid and enjoy what we're doing, press the donate button, we'll be very grateful. And if there's anybody out there, small businesses, who benefit from the sort of information that we put out, and we know there's quite a few because we've been contacted by them, if you'd like to make a small contribution or help out in any way, we'd be most grateful. That's the end of that, and we'll see you soon on Windows on the World. Join me, Mark Windows, with Tony Hurst for Windows on the World Live every Sunday 9 to 11 PM GMT at autonomousmedia.net.